Good morning, children. We were reading lesson number 6. So far you have read about spoilage and wastage of food and food preservation. The lesson was this, and we have read spoilage of food, how we can keep them safely, that you have read. Then causes of spoilage of food you have read. These are the causes: microorganisms, enzymes, and then insect, worms and rat. Now prevention of spoilage of food also we have read, that perishable food stuff must be stored in the refrigerator. Then foods like spices, cereals, biscuits and other snacks should be kept in airtight jars. Then food preservation, about food preservation also we have read. Then now today we have to read the methods used for preservation of food. Means by which method we should keep the food items so that it will not be spoiled. First one is dehydration. This word you must have heard. Whenever any loose motion or stomach problem is there, that time the water content from your body, when it becomes less, that time it is dehydration. So in this process, water content of the food stuff is removed. How we can remove the water content of the food stuff? By drying the places, by keeping the places under sunlight. As I have told you, you must have observed that your mother keeps the dry items under the sunlight, so that the water content of those items will be removed and then it can be kept safely for a longer period. Since most microorganisms we have read bacteria and fungi. Most microorganisms need water to grow. They cannot multiply or grow on dried foods. If dry item is there, then microorganisms will not be there because they need moisture and warmth to grow. Many vegetables like onions and cauliflower are dried to preserve them. Dried means the water content is removed to preserve them. Second method is preservation by adding sugar and salt. Sugar you must be knowing, salt also you must be knowing. Both sugar and salt serve as preservatives, means they can preserve the food items, because these tend to take out moisture from the food. We have read moisture and warmth. These are the two conditions for the growth of bacteria and fungi. And these sugar and salt, they take out moisture from the food. If moisture is being taken out, then food items will be dry, and then no bacteria and fungi will grow in it, and so it can be preserved for a longer period, so that it is not available for growth of microorganisms. This method is useful in preparing and preserving pickles and jams. In pickles and jams, sugar and salt are given there, added there. Why? So that moisture will be taken out by sugar and salt. Next one is preservation by adding acetic acid. Acetic acid, it is a form of vinegar. Vinegar you must have seen. It is used in the manufacture of several pickled products. Means in pickles, vinegar is being added. Why it is being added in pickles? So that it will be preserved. Pickles will not be spoiled. Vinegar also stops the growth of microorganisms. Growth of microorganisms. What are microorganisms? Bacteria and fungi. And vinegar stops it. Then canning and bottling. Canning involves cooking food, sealing it in sterile cans or jars, means packed properly in the cans or jars, and boiling the containers, and then those containers are being boiled to kill or weaken any remaining bacteria through a form of sterilization, means by putting it into the boiling water. Many fruits, vegetables and meat products are canned, means they are packed in cans or jars. Sterilized they are to preserve them. Meat products are also canned to preserve them. Next is pasteurization. You must have seen the milk packet, Sudha milk packet or Amul milk packet or Sudha milk packet, Ashirwad milk packet. These are the packets which are packed by the process of pasteurization to preserve it. It is a process in which the food product is subjected to pressurized heating. Means first heating is being given by a pressure for a short time, and then it is followed by immediate cooling. What is the method of pasteurization? First heating is given by pressurizing it for a short time, and then immediate cooling. The temperature used during pasteurization is below 212 degree Fahrenheit. Milk is pasteurized to kill microorganisms. However, many more heat-resistant organisms only get reduced in number and do not get completely removed. And so that before consuming milk, what we should do? We should boil the milk to kill any other organisms which are being left. Hence, the pasteurized milk must generally be stored under refrigeration to keep bacterial growth in it under control. Milk packets, if it is not boiled, then where does your mother keep? In the refrigerator, because we have read at low temperature the growth of microorganisms slows down. In addition to destroying some microorganisms, pasteurization also inactivates some enzymes and increased the shelf life of milk. We have read that enzymes are good also, bad also. Means if it is more than the required quantity, then it is bad. So pasteurization process, this inactivates some enzymes, and then milk can be stored for a longer period. Shelf life means we can keep the milk on the shelf for a longer period. Then in Dillon it is written, pasteurization has been named after the well-known microbiologist Louis Pasteur. And drinking unpasteurized milk is generally not safe. Why it is not safe? As we can get diseases. Why we can get diseases? How we can get diseases? Due to the presence of disease causing microorganisms. Because if it is not pasteurized, it means what? Small bacteria and fungi are there. So we should always drink fresh and pasteurized milk. Now refrigeration. This procedure uses low temperature to prevent growth of microorganisms. We have read at low temperature microorganisms slows down. So in refrigeration, this procedure uses low temperature to prevent growth of microorganisms. Microorganisms and enzymes get deactivated at low temperature, and hence the spoilage of food gets prevented. Food can be stored for a longer period. Next is vacuum packing. In this method, air is removed from the package prior to sealing. If any oxygen air is present in the packet, then it is being removed so that the limitation of growth of bacteria or fungi will be in the packet. And if no bacteria or fungi will be there, then the food, the chips item or any item will not be spoiled. It can be preserved for a longer period. This method is commonly used to store dry foods, cereals, nuts, coffee, cheese and potato chips. Now you see, foods containing fats and oil change their smell and taste and become rancid in the presence of oxygen. If oxygen gas is present, then food will change their smell and taste. Manufacturers usually fill nitrogen gas in packets of potato chips. In my previous class, I told you, whenever you purchase potato chips from the market, then what is there? Packet is this much big, but inside chips are very less. When you open the packet, then gases are. The packet is filled with vacuum packing is there. No oxygen gas is there, but which gas is being filled? Nitrogen gas. And why? To preserve it. In other namkeens mixtures also, nitrogen gas is being filled to preserve them. Now children, we must have understood the importance of food. What are the methods of food preservation? Now we will see what are the importances of food preservation. Why food preservation is important for us. So here you see it is written, food preservation is helpful in many ways. In many ways food preservation is helpful. In which ways? First one is, it helps to maintain nutritive value of food. Means the nutrition of the food is being intact after food preservation. Then it increases the shelf life. Shelf life means we can store the food on our shelf for a longer period. It increases, food preservation increases the shelf life of food, thus increasing its supply. And if shelf life is increased, supply will also be increased. Many perishable foods can be preserved for a long time. Those items, perishable means those food items which can be spoiled very quickly. Those items can be preserved for a long time with the help of food preservation. Next is, it makes seasonal foods available throughout the year. Now cauliflower, it is not the season of cauliflower, but in the market you can get cauliflower because due to the food preservation it is being preserved throughout the year. Next is, it decreases wastage of food. If food is preserved, then food will not be spoiled, and if food is not will not be spoiled, then no wastage of food will be there. By preventing decay or spoilage of food, it helps in adding variety to the diet. With the help of food preservation, we can eat various types of diet. For example, in some countries, some fruits and vegetables cannot be easily grown due to unfavorable soil or weather conditions. Because we all know that fruits, vegetables or anything needs a particular weather condition or soil to grow. Their non-availability can be overcome through import of preserved fruits and vegetables from other parts of the world. Like, have you seen apple tree in Patna? No. But we are getting apple in Patna. From where? From Kashmir. It is being supplied. Now what is wastage of food? Wastage means throwing out of food. Is it good, children, to throw the food? No, it is not good. Wastage of food. At a party, in any party, marriage party, birthday party, housewarming ceremony, in anything you must have seen, At a party, you must have seen how some people fill up their plates with all types of food that is available. In parties, so many types of food are available. What do the people do? They take all the food without even thinking that whether they will be able to eat it or not. Sometimes they are not able to finish even half of it because so many items are there. They take it but they are not able to finish it. Then where does these food items go? In the dustbin. So is it good? That is the wastage of food. Is it good? No. What happens to the food that is left over in the plate? It is discarded and put in the garbage bins. Is it right to waste food? No, absolutely not. Especially in a country like ours. Our country, India, is a poor country where lakhs of people cannot afford even 1 square meal a day. Means even 2 times they can, 1 time also they cannot afford to eat. And there in that country, in this country where the people are not able to get the meal every day, we are throwing it. Is it good? No, it is not good. We should only take as much as we can eat. Whenever you go to any party or at your home also, this much food only you take, what you can eat. Also while shopping, we should buy only what we can consume. Whenever we do any shopping, that time also it is not like that we have purchased everything and we cannot consume. What we should do? We should buy only what we can consume. Excess of food when bought is likely to go waste. If you buy more food, if you are buying more food, that is excess of food which you cannot consume, then obviously it will be wasted. So is it a good thing to waste the food? No, it is not good thing. We should not waste the food. We should not spoil the food. And that's why to prevent the food from spoiling, so many methods are given in your lesson. We should follow this. We should not waste the food. Why we should not waste the food? Because in our country, millions of people, lakhs of people cannot afford even 1 square meal a day. And that's why we should always remember, take what you eat what you take. What is the meaning of it? Take what you eat. Means you should take that much food only what you can eat. Whenever you go to any party or at your home, in your plate, this much food only should be there what you can eat. And eat what you take. And if you have taken anything in your plate, then you just finish it up. You just eat it. Because if you will not eat it, then where it will go? It will go to dustbin. Then it is the wastage of food. Wasting of food is good? No, absolutely not. Wasting of food is not good. That's why we should always remember this very saying, take what you eat. We should take that food items only, those food items only, what we can eat. And eat what you take. And whatever we have taken, we should consume it. We should finish it. So this lesson is completed, children. Keywords and ABC in my next class I will give you. Today your homework is to read this lesson 2 times at home. Today no written work I am giving. Every day I am giving you written work, but today no written work. You will read this lesson twice. And if you have any problem, then you can ask to me on our WhatsApp group. So that's all for today. Goodbye and thank you.